I want to show you the difference that the kind of lines you use when you're drawing can make. So I'm drawing a cottage here. I'm going to fit both of them onto the same page. So this one here I'm drawing using quite straight lines. I actually probably should have used a ruler to show the difference. I tend never to use a ruler, but I'm trying to make these lines straight. I'm not doing a very good job. Okay, and then I'll draw it again over here. And I'm consciously trying to make the lines a little bit more wibbly. These days I actually have to really consciously try and do that because I'm finding my lines getting straighter and straighter, which is not really something I want. I haven't made this chimney come down far enough. Okay, so this one's quite straight. This one's a little bit less straight, but you can see the difference in the character that they have already. Now I want to show you the difference that can happen when you paint your colours. So on this one, the first one here, I am going to paint the roof blue. So I'm just using a flat colour. This is, well, I say blue, this is Payne's grey, which is a very bluey grey. Okay, there's a blue roof. Now this one, I'm going to put some blue in there. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna. And I will go back in and add a little bit of, oh, I can't remember what this colour is. Raw sienna, I think. So for the front of the house is in shadow, so I'm going to paint this in, it's really a mixture of a pile of paints that are on my tray. I tried to go for just a pile of neutral colours mixed together to give me a slight purpley shade. So there's that one done. So I'll do this one. But I'll go and grab some other colours. This is a little bit of burnt sienna. Just blend the colours together. While the paint is wet, I'll maybe drop in just a little touch of blue. And I'll use similar shades down the front of the chimney. And I'll drop in a little touch of another colour that's on my palette. For this one, I'll just give it the one colour that's on the front of the house. So I'm going to go in and paint the door of this one red. It's just a flat colour. And over here I'll also paint the door red with the same colour that was on the brush. But I'll go and pick up a little bit of another red colour, just a different red colour. Now, I was impatient there. I didn't wait for the paint to dry down the side here, so I'm going to try and pick some of that red up. Might have to wait till it's dry and then do something about that, because you can see the red door has bled into the wall of this house. So I'll try and minimise it a little bit. I'll probably go back and try and tidy that up a little bit. Okay, up at the top I'll just put a little bit of darker colour there, a little bit there. I'll do the same there, and I'll do the same there. Now again, I'm going to go for a sort of neutral colour with a little bit of darkness to it, and I'm going to paint in the sides of the windows there. So I will paint the edges of this window and underneath that window there as well. Now I think we want something at this side of the houses to highlight the fact that the edge of the houses is there, because the houses are white there. So I'm going to mix a little green mix, and over here I will paint a green tree. Okay, it's coming down the side of the house there. And I will do the same here. I'll make it a bit splodgier. It's coming down the side of the house. But I will add another colour into the green tree while it's wet. So I'm adding a little bit of burnt sienna. And a little touch of yellow for the top. Okay, so I'm just adding colour into the wet paint. So we'll go back round and just darken the top of the chimney here with a colour. I can go back over the dark bit as well, which will make it even darker, like that. I'll do the same over here. But I'm going to add in a touch of raw umber. Okay, so while we're waiting for the paint to dry around the windows before we darken the inside of the windows, we'll put a layer of colour along the bottom of the house. We'll put a layer of green there. So we're going to just go along with a layer of green along the bottom there. We'll do the same for this one. But we will go back in with another colour. So again, I'm going to go back in with a little bit of burnt sienna. So this is a mix of burnt sienna and Payne's grey. So I'll go in here. Leave the little line across the middle of the window. And I'll do the same over here. So we'll paint a little shadow line underneath where the roof ends here. Make it a wee bit darker. I'll do the same over here. And I think I'm going to darken a couple of areas on this one as well. I can darken them over here too. And the one thing I wanted to do was just tidy up the door on the house on the right hand side, because I didn't wait until the paint had dried and it bled a little bit. So I'll just go in and give it a more distinct edge down the side there. Okay, we're going to go back in and darken a couple of the areas around the window. And around the door. But for this one, I'm going to go back in and just additionally darken a little bit, like the very corner of the door and the very corner of the window. So we have two houses painted really similarly, but this one was painted with flat colour, just one colour for each area, and this one had additional colours dropped in as I was painting, as the paint was wet. So for me, this one has far more character to it, and also the lines were drawn a little bit more wobbly, and this one, the lines were drawn quite straight. So for me, I prefer this one. It has a lot more character to it than this one. What do you think?